City Souvenirs is a series of participatory walks through city neighborhoods where public audiences are invited to make direct impressions of the built environment in blocks of clay. These objects are collected after participants make their imprints. On one side of the clay, it records sharp architectural details, while the other side retains the subtle lines of the hand. This walk on the Lower East Side investigates the history of the neighborhood, looking especially to its diverse cultural and immigrant heritage.
This is like our first stop to think about the Seaward Park as this place where was opening like in 1903, and then was the first playground, like officially playground in the United States. The clay is really soft, so what you have to do is give a nice grip first, but leave some space around because the clay is gonna change around with the shape, so you can kind of find a grip. Yeah. Yes, exactly. And then hold it that, and then you were gonna do one imprint, like you're gonna do slap it into the.
Okay. 4:31. And then we have to put the date in the right direction. In the right direction.
4:31.
My grandfather immigrated here in the late 50s, early 60s, and lived and worked in Chinatown. And so I thought it was like really interesting because we were talking about how even though I'm not from New York, and like, you know, Etta will share her story later, other people aren't from here, at some point someone in our families like come through this entry point, and I think it's so remarkable.
Newspaper. It's an old newspaper for people who read and spoke Jewish or Yiddish.
So that was published in Hebrew, and then people could
and
kind
it was
of.
pretty much the only paper that I remember.
Just like
you know, like you'd have the Daily News and Post and stuff like that, and the Times, but then you had the forward for all the Eastern Europeans who came over.
Oh, wow, that's
what did
nice.
they
So
call
it's
it though? They called it
The Forvits.
Forvits.
in Yiddish.
Forvits.
Yeah.
Forvits.
Oh, nice.
My
So
grandmother would sit with all the ladies on the street and call me and give me, you know, like 10 cents to go
and then
get
you
her
get the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting because at the same time they were trying to adjust to a new culture, but also trying to keep the community and try to keep tight with people
And they
that
would
were
all
from the
just
same.
sit there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you walk away, they don't talk about you. You know?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can just push here. Yes, help it. Oh, yes, that captured really nicely.
See that part over here? That's from you pushing me.
So this is Lois Theater, and was opened in 1927, and then so was the second biggest cinema, like a theater. So people would come here to watch movies, and then they said that there was a kids program in the morning, so kids will come to see the things for kids. So there was also this other popular place where people would, you know, watch some movies. I think it's okay. Were you able to grab the clay the same way you did it? Okay, try to find, yes, the part of, yeah, go, push it hard, a little more hard, a little more pressure. Yeah, I think you got it. Nice, I will hold it for you. Oh wow, we got a really nice brick. Yeah, from the beginning of the, that's so nice. I'm glad that you were able, are you okay? Yeah, okay. Nice, yeah. So you kind of got the imprint, and then like the repetition, and then kind of the metal stuff.
Should I do it again?
No, that's great. So the next step for it will be to stamp with the hour and the date.
Sure,
So
yeah.
kind of to. Oh, okay. It could be on the side, not yeah, and
Just like
then
this?
like this. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. This is I'm not sure.
34. Yeah.
Oh, the time.
The
Okay.
time,
Yeah,
yes,
I was
exactly. And then
using
the other,
mine just-
and then the date you can, can put it there just to make sure it's like a today date.
Oh, April 11th, 2015.
Yes.
Hey, Sal, D'Agostino, Crystal Park.
Just push it with a little more. And what helps us with if you let that hand? Yeah, and yes, exactly. Yeah, to give the.
Alright, you think it's good at this
I
point?
think it's good. Nice, yeah. So it becomes this more abstract because it gets a little smaller from that, but you got the dragon here and then the eyes coming this way, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Wow.
It's pretty
yeah,
cool.
It came out really well. I mean, like a more abstraction because we have a smaller area, but you can kind of see the eyes and then the kind of the top of the dragon
Cool.
head.
What's that?
That was a building doorway. That was like
down the street.
East Broadway.
American
that-
Lock?
Yeah, exactly. That was in the theater. And then we had also from the park
Yep.
as well, and the Educational Alliance as well. So we
Okay.
kind of have like a little mapping from different places and different.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's this art project that we are doing and
Very nice.
exhibiting.
Cool.
Thank
Do
you.
you have anywhere inside there that you want to make one from the fires?
Oh,
That would be really nice if you can.
Maybe
check it.
like
that I can think of.
metal sign if the
it is depressed, I believe. I think
that
it's.
could
Yeah.
be a good spot.
You want me to actually do it?
Yeah.
I want to do this.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah. Cool. So we can bring it here.
It's only 10 years, yeah, I know.
Then it could be the square or the, yeah, I think that's good too. Yeah. So what you have to do is give a nice grip because it's clay, it's really soft.
Right.
And then you give a nice grip and then you can just, yeah, that will add such a nice, yeah, or you can push with the other hand. Yeah, press a little bit more on the top. Yes. Yes. Cool. It was perfect to have the fire department house.
There you go. FD
Yes.
house. That's pretty cool. Has comfortably bases.
Yeah. Eldridge, probably, right? Instead of doing here. Like, I can rather reach everything. You know what you could do? We could do a double. Oh, wow. We are taking the negative, so it's like the opposite of what we can see.
My family owned a store on Orchards.
Oh, really?
Now I have to think of what it was called because I'm like on the spot. They owned a very famous handbag store for years and years.
And do you live in the neighborhood?
I grew up on 12th Street. So have you read the author Anzia Yezierska?
No, no.
That's what you need to read.
Really?
It's
Okay.
called Bread Givers.
Uh-huh.
Look it up. And it's
Oh.
all about this area during the turn of the last century, not the 1900, like 1910, 19...
When all the tenements
She was
were...
one of the first feminist writers. You
Oh,
must.
wow.
In fact, if I remember correctly, their bookstore has her book.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh,
it's
I
called
would-
Bread Givers. You have
Bread
to read it.
Givers.
And
I
you'll
will.
read probably every book she ever wrote. It was amazing.
Oh, wow, that's good to know. So those were the buildings that were like around 5 stories without elevator, without gas, and no heater. And so it kind of like a lot of families were living, like sometimes they were like 10 people living in a 3-bedroom, so they were pretty packed with different immigrants and different nationalities, but it was like private where the landlord would build the building and then he was an immigrant, they were immigrant themselves, that they would rent the place. Nice to meet you. Yeah, cool. I don't know if you want to share a little bit about like living here, like in a tenement, like was a tenement building this one, right? Like that's a
Jewish guy, he's in his 70s. Interesting guy, survivor of the Holocaust.
Oh, really?
And he owns this building and the one sort of after, the one on the dry cleaners. Not this one, but the one sort
Like
of
the
behind.
one.
And he bought them in 1979.
Okay.
And he started out selling ice cream when he came like from the war.
Oh, really?
And then he sort of made his richness, you know, not selling ice cream, but getting clothes from old factories, like from like damaged clothes. And so he got that much clothes. We'll store them somewhere here because he rented the retail
So
space.
do you know the ice cream and the clothes store was also around here? Or?
I know that he used that this was his original retail to store the stuff. I know that the ice cream store was nearby. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I
see.
But then he sort of made his business and eventually he bought the building.
Oh wow, that's
Super nice guy.
So one stamp is for the day and another stamp is for the hour. So this will stay the same for today, but then we are gonna 43, right? And here's the time. So now it's kind of a way to know who made first and kind of think about sequence, right?
When I was in high school, we went on a family trip to New York and took a little bus around with a guide to visit different sites from the neighborhood where she grew up. We visited a synagogue, but I'm not sure if it was this one or not actually, because I remember the inside of it, but not really what the outside looked like. I just moved here a couple months ago as well, so it's interesting to come back and be included on this project and have this family connection going back a couple generations that is now I'm coming back to.
The new reshaped clay objects made during this walk creates an abstract map and archive that combines both personal and collective memory. By exploring the Lower East Side, participants engage in a dialogue about ever-changing physical, cultural, and social landscape of the neighborhood. The action of walking as an art-making tool encourages the audience to slow down and notice the small details that amount to our daily urban experience.